So I'm going to ask you just a really basic question. What is a municipal judge?
Oh, wow. It's a municipal judge. Basically, there's different levels of judges in the state of Colorado.
Okay.
You have your state district court judge, state county court judge, state district court judge, court of appeals, of course, and then the Supreme Court. In those jobs, they are actually state jobs, which means county court, for example, does misdemeanors, what people know as misdemeanors, your DUIs, your issues of like that, your domestic violence cases. Your district court judge is the cases of the more serious criminal nature and high-level civil automobile accident type cases, and then you can go on from there with court of appeals and Supreme Court.
Right.
So the municipal court judge is actually your local judge. It's the one that you would think about. For example, that does your traffic. It does your lower petty offenses, your ordinances. So it's an ordinance type thing. Right. The real main difference with that is that a lot of times with those courts, and you're seeing people for the first time and the only time, it's really their only interaction in a lot of your municipalities with the judicial system.
Right. Joining me today, if you couldn't tell, a municipal judge, it's actually our municipal judge, Judge Vincent White. So thrilled to have you here today. And if you don't recognize the space, we are currently above your and I's office. I hold counsel downstairs below the balcony here at the library, and you hold court. Right, I love saying it that way. You hold court right here inside the library. So if you get a speeding ticket or you get a summons or something that brings you to court municipally here in the city, you see Judge White, but you also come here. What kind of cases do you see?
That's correct. It's an amazing facility to be working in the library, actually, and we do it in different municipalities in different ways. But the type of cases we see are typically, as you're talking about, your traffic cases. We see a lot of ordinance cases, dog barking, noise ordinance, noise violations for the municipalities. Sometimes we'll see lower level petty theft cases and stuff out of the local retail shops. That's a lot, and it can be expansive. We coordinate really well with the county and the district court in terms of their cases, but most times it's just municipal ordinances, violation of the local town ordinances that we see. A majority of our cases, even though in some jurisdictions it's different, a majority of our cases are typically fines only. We're looking at possible fines versus any type of incarceration or placing somebody in jail or a facility.
I'm glad you asked me, or you mentioned that, because so really, since it is mostly fines, are you able to send anybody to jail? If I come to court, could I be sent to jail?
It just depends on the charge. There is a potential of that. I would say in a majority of our charges, no. Okay. Would be no. It would have to be a pretty serious traffic court offense or a pretty serious maybe petty municipal theft offense or something of that nature. But I would say for the majority, I'd say 90% of the municipal court charges, ordinance charges, and violations, you're looking at mostly a fine and some type of cost.
If you had to describe the typical, obviously they're my neighbors, but the typical person who comes before you, who is it? Is it an adult? Are they teens? Who is it? And what are they? Traffic? What are they?
Yes, a typical person that comes in front of me is a traffic court case. It's going to be a speeding case. It probably is, most likely is, hopefully not, but one of your neighbors. It's a person who got caught with a speeding ticket. Very professional. Most people have jobs or they're stay-at-home parents who live and work in your community. Have typically first-timers. Never been to court before, never been summoned, very law-abiding people, and still are law-abiding even after this.
Definitely my neighbors. Definitely my neighbors.
Most times you come to traffic court without an attorney because you can handle the matter on your own. So it's just typically your basic bastions of your community, to be honest with you. It's not people who have recidivism rate or the things that you see on TV.
It's not Perry Mason.
It's not Perry Mason.
It's not Perry Mason. Now I've dated myself completely. Perry Mason. So when you have someone come before you here in municipal court, and let's say traffic, let's go with that, and they were pulled over by a Douglas County Sheriff's deputy for speeding a couple miles over the speed limit, let's say 10, how do you, and do you have much leeway in how you sentence them or how you fine them? How does that work?
Yes, typically fines are viewed as the way you sentence people, of course, are if they have any prior record, do they show the right contrition for things? What are the basic facts around the ticket that they got or summons they've got. So I do have some range and some leverage around really, again, we're talking about 90% of the amount and time of the fine,
Sure.
Whether we're going to give them classes, whether we're going to do community service. There's things within that sentence that we can do, and it's based on those kind of factual issues that come in front of me.
Sure.
First time offense, obviously, is going to probably be a lower. First time offense, no criminal traffic history, probably a lower offense than a person who has done this 3 or 4 times with a more substantial traffic history. And so those are kind of the ranges you look at.
I remember when we interviewed you, because you are new in the job. Has it been a year yet?
It has been, no, it has not.
No, it's not been a year yet.
Yeah,
I didn't think it's been a year yet. So you really are new to our municipal courts here. But I remember when we interviewed you, one of the things that stuck out in my mind, we as in the city council, that stuck out in my mind was you had a certain philosophy about not only sentencing, but also how to handle your court, which I thought was really interesting. And I've known some judges in my life. You and I both worked in the Attorney General's office.
That's right.
So diversion, really big for you. Peer-to-peer counseling, also really interesting for you, and that you put such an emphasis on it. So talk to me about that. What's the most important thing you want people who come before you to leave with? Is it that they empty their pocket or what?
Yes, well, I think the most important thing is that they just leave with a sense that they had justice served and that they were treated fairly, impartially, and with respect. And again, with these type of cases, a lot of times these parties are just first-time offenders. They're parties who have never been in a court in their life, not even served on a jury. So the first thing is to understand that it is a serious process. It's a process that we're working. But the second thing is that you're treated with respect. And what our ultimate goal is, of course, is to not have parties do that again and have the recidivism rate.
Right.
So my goal when I go there is to communicate in an honest, respectful, and manner to them, explain the nature of their charges, the nature of what's going on, explain the process even, because I think a lot of times people are comfortable with the process.
Right.
Allow them the freedom to ask questions and be free to go ahead and make statements, all in a respectful manner, and then also sentence in a respectful manner as well. I think when you do those kind of 4 things, when you allow people to have that, what we call due process,
right.
The right to be heard, the right to be treated with respect, the right to understand the nature of the charges and understand why they're here and understand why ultimately I gave them the sentence that they gave, I think people walk out of the courtroom with a better understanding of the criminal justice system and the traffic justice system as well. And that's always one of my things. You said that big key word is diversion. We're trying to divert people from coming back and seeing us again, divert people from having another charge or being in front of the system or violating the laws or the municipal ordinances of the town of Castle Pines.
Right.
And so I think ultimately, it has to be treated with respect and decorum. And I think decorum plays a very important role.
Sure. And you hope that people, when they leave, because they are residents here in Castle Pines, that they feel like our city is safe,
Yes.
And what we're doing is for safety or to keep us in a better community. So I love that. And frankly, I've heard nothing but good things about how you handle your court. So if I have a teenager, because you do see teenagers in different jurisdictions, because you're a municipal court judge in multiple jurisdictions as well, when you have a teen come before you, should they bring their parents? Should parents come with them?
Oh, actually, it's mandated that they need to have their parents, if they're minors under 18, the age of 18, that they have to have their parents with them for that advisement. But I would say even if your child is not a minor by the law, it's 19, even 20, I think it's good to have that parent there for that, so they understand the system and understand what their child is going through too. And so I believe 100% that yes, the parents should probably be there, and they are there. And I speak to the parents just as much as I speak to the child, because we've got to make sure that the parent understands the advisement of rights and the issues and the due process issues as well as the child. And also that, it can be a pretty daunting process, no matter how I talk about treating it with a modicum of respect, it still can be a daunting process.
Sure.
With the teens, I do try to get a little bit more information than I do with an adult. I try to know what school they go to, what are their grades. I want to show an interest in them and show them an interest as a person that hey, this is not just going to be a process through it. See if anybody might have an interest in the law or medicine, and so show a little bit of caring. And I think that the juveniles really like that and appreciate that a little bit. I think they get scared of asking their grades sometimes, but for the most part, I think that you try to get them to understand that, yes, this is a process, but no, you're not the worst person in the world. And yes, we do not want to see you here doing this again. And I think that's kind of one of our goals. Again, back to your word of diversion, which I think is a good word.
And what I love about your philosophy was it was really about creating not criminals, but better citizens. It was really about citizenship in many ways. Teen court has become real popular in some states, and it's been successful in Douglas County and at least one municipality. We do not have it yet, but we're really advocating for it because I think it's wonderful. But tell me what teen court is.
Teen court is basically a court where the teens and the teens basically judge their peers. And so what it is a process where we involve the teens in the community to pass judgment on teens who have violated the ordinances. It's a diversion program. It's a program where if you do elect it for the most part, that you will probably be participating in teen court and you do different things versus fines like community service. You have different sentencing options. But we find that the teens in the local community, whether they've been through teen court or not, that participate in this, really love and get to understand their community more. So you're really building that community bond because they're actually having the teens that are going through teen court are being judged by their peers.
It could be tougher.
Yeah, it can be tougher.
Yeah, it can be tougher. Yeah, it can be tougher.
It most definitely can be. They take it very seriously. It's a very rewarding process for me to see the teens and who come in front of us. And it's a diversion program. You participate, and again, some of the sentencings a lot of the sentencing is community service or being on teen court panels in the future. It basically kind of polices itself, and in terms of that the teens that have been through teen court become the panel members, and then they start becoming part of the community, and they can start seeing what's happening in the community. And it's a really nice program. I am 100% for teen court.
Me too. Absolutely.
I think it's a wonderful program. I think the teens love it. There's no downside. I think the teens love it. In the municipalities that I do have it, they love it. The parents love it, and it really seems to benefit statistically the community that has teen court.
We have some information about our municipal courts on our website, the city website. But if someone wanted to know more about what it is that you do or that what happens in municipal court, is there another resource other than our website, or where would you send them?
Yes, I would send them to the Colorado Municipal Judges website. That has a lot of issues about what municipal judges do in different jurisdictions, things of that nature. I think it's a really kind of a tell-all on the new ordinances, what's getting passed from the state legislatures down. As far as local, I think just honestly, if you just look up my name, I'm on the website. I have a website that has my background on it.
Which is incredible, by the way. We didn't touch it, but he's got an incredible background.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have you here.
I feel fortunate as well. It's mutual. But that Municipal Judges Organization website has everything from how municipal courts are run to different municipalities, how things are run. And I think it's a wonderful website and resource for people.
Well, as we wrap up, and I could talk to you for 2 days, but as we wrap up, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I mean them sincerely. They're not meant flippant. What is your best day as a judge? What is the best day?
I think the best day that I have as a judge is probably a time when I don't realize it, to be honest with you. It's when I've reached the party, they go home, and then maybe I'll get a letter, like maybe a month or 2 months down the road, saying, "Hey, I had an experience in your courtroom. You don't know who I was, or I was number 1 of 100 people that came to your courtroom. But I was so impressed that I think I want to be a lawyer. I think I'm more interested in the process. I think, or they give me the letter saying, I did so well from what your sentencing was, and I did this, and I really learned so much. And my best day, I had even today in another municipality where somebody goes, "Thank you for treating me with respect and dignity. I appreciate that, and thank you so much. You're so professional." And just little comments like that make my day, because I know I'm helping the community. I know I'm like at the forefront of the community sometimes of which one I'm representing. And I think that they can go take away the fact that, hey, I'd never want to do this again, but I was treated with respect and dignity and due process. I think that's a really beautiful day for me.
Okay, that is wonderful. I love hearing that. So the last question is, you can imagine, what's the worst day as a judge?
The worst day is when, in all my experience, is when you have to make a decision and you feel like you haven't had all the information, and people sometimes, I always kind of joke in my other profession is that people always are saying, well, one side says they want justice and then the other side they want justice, right? Well, you both can't have justice.
Yeah.
Justice is really what you're saying is, it's really saying I want the judge or the jury to agree with my side.
Dispassionate.
Yeah, exactly.
Dispassionate, right.
And so the hardest thing is when you actually have two really good arguments or really good cases and you have to make a decision where both parties have presented good arguments or good sides to you and you've made that decision and and judges do, and you go home and maybe doubt yourself or doubt your decision. Those are the toughest days, and those are the days where you're just, but I always go back to the fact that people such as yourself believe in me, who have hired me to do this, and that's my job. And so, and I can always rely on that as my backbone and my backstop is that I offered to take this job to make the tough decisions, and I will have to do that. So, but that's always a tough day though, still.
We are so fortunate in Douglas County and in Castle Pines to be served by a really strong district attorney, the Douglas County Sheriff's Department, and knowing that the next pillar, which is the judicial, is also strong in our municipal courts, gives me confidence as a city councilman, also as a resident of Castle Pines, my forever home. So I appreciate it. Judge Vincent White, he is our municipal judge here in Castle Pines. I've really enjoyed talking to you today. Hopefully I don't have to come in front of you because I sped too much, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is mine, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I really do.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
guys, for watching. Bye-bye.